Hey there, Detroit sports fanatics. I'm Taylor Phillips, and welcome to Taylor's Detroit Sports on Spreaker. You can also find this and all other episodes of Taylor's Detroit Sports on iHeartRadio. Straight and full Detroit and Michigan sports coverage 100% of the time. If you have any opinions on everything that's going on in the Detroit sports world, call in or send a text message live on the show at 231-429-3668. Also, you can add me on Facebook as Taylor Phillips, online at facebook.com/TaylorGatorPhillips14. Like my Facebook page, Taylor Phillips' Detroit Sports page. Join my Facebook group, Taylor Phillips' Detroit Sports Group. And follow me on Twitter at DT2Phillips with 2 L's.
One moment, please. I'm going to do some editing here. Some info editing. Now I got to do some sharing. Just a minute here. Got a mention from Eric Woody in NHL's in the group. Yeah, I was just tagging the group. Anyway. Okay, ready to go. Welcome to episode 143 of Taylor's Detroit Sports on Spreaker and iHeartRadio. I'm Taylor Phillips. Gonna talk some Red Wings, Pistons, Michigan State, and Central Michigan, the Tigers and the Lions, of course. Another packed episode. Previous one was very short because of the trade deadline passing by, the NHL trade deadline. The Red Wings beat the Rangers 2-1 in overtime last Wednesday night. Newcomer defenseman Marek Zidlicky is how it's pronounced, according to Mickey Redmond. Got the game-winning goal, his first as a Red Wing in his debut. Henrik Zetterberg with 2 assists. Justin Adlocator, the other goal. Pavel Datsyuk and Jonathan Erickson with an assist each. Jimmy Howard made 39 saves. Dan Girardi scored the lone goal for New York. On a bad bounce off Kyle Quincy, who had the puck bounce strangely off him a second time in the second period. Kyle Quincy needs to pay more attention to where the puck is going and who has it, and where that player is playing it. When it comes toward him, it's his job as a defenseman to block the shot or pass and play the puck in the right direction. All other defensemen, including Brendan Smith and Jonathan Erickson, played great defense. Jonathan Erickson was hurt, but he is expected to play tonight. Darren Helm is not playing tonight. Let me see here. Oh, no, wrong forward here. Jonathan Erickson was banged up in yesterday's practice, but he's expected to return. I don't have any word on Darren Helm, but Darren Helm's going to be out for 10 days. I don't know. I can't remember what it was. Let's see here. Take a look at the news here. The Wings had already assigned Teemu Pulkkinen to Grand Rapids before the Rangers game, and I'm going to try mlive.com on my PC here. There's an article that says Mike Babcock, the head coach, wants more from Red Wings' third line of Gustav Nyquist, Riley Sheahan, and Stephen Weiss. Maybe this will tell me. Jonathan Erickson banged up. No, it does not tell me. Let me see here. Here we go. With an oblique strain. So is Alexei Marchenko, both out a week to 10 days with oblique strains. I'll tweet that out. First off, the second period in the Rangers game was rough for the Red Wings, but Jimmy Howard stood tall, keeping the score tied at 1. The defense kept turning the puck over in their own zone. Eric Cole also made his Red Wings debut in that game and played good defense. Although he didn't produce any offense statistically, which is okay. He was expected to get butterflies in his stomach before his debut. He'll get more used to it. He'll get more used to Detroit soon. The Wings play the Flames tonight at 7:30. I have 3 comments here. Yep. One of them has a great comment from Thomas via Spreaker.com. Great breakdown of the defense. I like the analysis. Thank you very much. And then he told me that he has an oblique strain. He edited his comment there. Okay. The live chat is on. Of course, on Spreaker. Also, you can call in or text message live on the show at 231-429-3668. That is 231-429-3668. Call in or text on that number. The Wings and Flames here. The Wings defeated the Flames 3-2 on January 7th at Scotiabank's Saddledome. Flames center Michael Backlund and Red Wings forwards Henrik Zetterberg and Justin Abdelkader each had a goal and assists. Taking a look at the Flames, they're 3-2-0 on a season-high 7-game road trip after a 4-3 shootout win against the Boston Bruins on Thursday. Goalie Kari Ramo made 34 saves through overtime, then denied 7 of 8 Boston shooters in the tiebreaker. Ramo has started 5 straight games. So as Jonas Hiller might play in the second half of the back-to-back. Defenseman David Schlemko, who the Flames claimed off waivers from the Dallas Stars last weekend, scoring the deciding goal. Head coach Bob Hartley just asked him, quote, "Are you good at these things?" unquote. And I told him I was 1 for 1. Quote unquote. Schlenko said, according on his Twitter account, forward David Jones sustained a lower body injury in the first period and did not return. Forwards Yuri Hudler, a former Red Wing, and Sean Monahan each have scored in consecutive games. Monahan's 23 goals lead the Flames, and Hudler's 21 are second. This is from DetroitRedWings.com, headlining Red Wings expect better effort hosting Flames. From an unnamed NHL.com editor. Red Wings are 36-15-11 with 83 points in third place in the Atlantic Division. Calgary Flames have climbed up to 35-25-4, totaling up to 74 points, third place in the Pacific Division. By the way, back to the Rangers game. There were a few penalties that the Rangers and Red Wings totally got away with. Brendan Smith got away with 2 penalties. Other than that, Smith played great. He just got lucky. He didn't even go to the box once, while getting away with 2 penalties. One a hook and one a trip. Yurko got tripped by a Ranger, no call. And then Justin Abdelkader and another Ranger player got tangled up. They both went to the box. A slash and an Abdelkader for roughing. Set up a 4-on-4, and then Derek Stepan clearly held Gustav Nyquist, and it cost his team a point. As the Wings and Rangers went into overtime, the Wings won it. 2-1 on Zidlicky's goal. The Red Wings team's scope. The effects of Detroit's 6-game, 11-day Western Conference road trip were evident in its 2-1 overtime victory against the New York Rangers on Wednesday when they were outshot 40-31. That fatigue carried into practice Thursday. Coach Mike Babcock told the Red Wings website, quote unquote, we weren't real crisp today. We had a late game last night. I don't think we had a ton of energy here today, but I expect our energy to be back and us to have no reason to not play a lot better than we did. We've got to tighten up our game again and get back to the level we need to be at. Unquote. One player who was fresh against New York was Zetterberg, who had 2 assists in 17:56 of ice time in his return to the lineup after missing 4 games because of a head injury or a concussion. Head injury doesn't sound right. Whoever this unnamed NHL.com editor is actually messing up on the grammar. Also says forwards Uri Hudler and Sean Monahan each has scored. They have scored. Get the grammar right. Defenseman Marek Zidlicky, acquired in a trade with the second among Detroit defensemen with 2:28 of power play time, acquired in the trade with the New Jersey Devils before the NHL trade deadline on Monday, scored the overtime winner. He played 17:44 and was second among Detroit defensemen with 2:28 of power play time. Babcock, who said defenseman Jonathan Ericsson is banged up, will keep forwards Riley Sheahan, Gustav Nyquist, and Stephen Weiss together, despite not being pleased with his new third line's performance against the Rangers. He said, quote, they weren't very good. Lots of us weren't good, though. He told the Detroit Free Press. We'll see if it's a line that can spend some time in the offensive zone. We'll give it another try Friday. Unquote. Well, if it doesn't work, then Mike Babcock will have to shake it up then. Now to the oblique strain injuries that Darren Helm and Alexei Marchenko have. Helm was injured during according to Ansar Khan of NLive.com, Helm was injured during the first period of Saturday's 4-3 victory at Nashville, and MRI earlier on March 2nd was negative. Marchenko apparently was injured in that game as well, though he finished it and even scored his first NHL goal. With today's acquisition of veteran defenseman Marek Zidlicky from the Devils, the Red Wings are likely to assign Marchenko to the Grand Rapids Griffins once he is healthy. Yeah, always keep the older players there, not the younger ones, huh? Even if they're not good enough. Okay. Let's see what happens there. Then on Sunday, the Red Wings are taking on the Boston Bruins in Boston at 12:30 on NBC. The avant-garde Mike Doc Emmerich and Eddie Olczyk and Pierre Maguire will have the commentary and analysis for you. Bruins are in second place in the wild card in the Eastern Conference with 72 points. They possess the second wild card spot in the East. The Florida Panthers are just 2 points behind him. The Panthers are just 2 points behind the Bruins. That's 70 points. Now let's go to the Detroit Pistons. They are not doing very well, the Pistons are. They've lost 4 straight after winning. They are 2-4 since the Reggie Jackson and Tayshaun Prince trades. They are dropping to 12th place in the Eastern Conference. Ouch. After going 2-4. The Pistons are 23-37, 25 games back of first, 3.5 games back of the Charlotte Hornets, who are in 8th place in the Eastern Conference. The Pistons play the Hornets Sunday at 6. But tonight, at 8, they're in Houston playing Josh Smith and the Rockets for the second time this season. The Rockets are 41-20 in 4th place in the Western Conference. Take a look at the division standings here. Second in the Southwest Division. Pistons are, of course, in last place in the Central. Let me see. Sorry for the dead air here. Gotta tweet something out here. There we go. Gotta do some sharing on Facebook as well for the Red Wings Flames game. Now back to the Pistons. Gotta hit this again. Head coach Stan Van Gundy is not a happy man, I tell you, for the Pistons. Detroit Pistons game day. Josh Smith quickly catching up to his former team in the winning department. Josh Smith has played half of the season with the Houston Rockets, but he's already won almost as many games as his former teammates have all season. The Rockets are 21-13 since signing Smith as a free agent after the Pistons released him December 21st. The Pistons have won 23 games all season and were 5-23 when they released their highest paid player. Smith is averaging 11.9 points, 6.32 rebounds, 2.7 assists, and 1.3 blocks while shooting 44%, including 33% on three-pointers. With the Pistons, he shot 39%, including 24% on three-pointers. The Pistons won their first matchup against the Rockets 114-101 January 31st at the Palace, behind a season-high 28 points from Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. James Harden led the Rockets with 26 points, and Josh Smith, in his first game against the Pistons since they waived him December 21st, scored 7 points on 3 for 11 shooting. The Rockets will be trying to avoid their first three their first 3-game losing streak of the season when the Pistons make their only visit of the season to the Toyota Center. The Rockets are coming off losses to Atlanta and Portland, marking just the 5th time all season they've lost back-to-back games. They'd won 5 straight before losing to the Hawks and Trailblazers. We have another comment here. Thomas wrote, Josh Smith is a bum and everyone knows it. 11 points, 6 rebounds, snooze. True. True, Thomas. That's true. That is so very true. Josh Smith was always a bum. Especially when he was playing with the Pistons. The Pistons have lost 4 straight. They blew a first-half lead in their last game in New Orleans and fell short to the Pelicans 88-85 south of the border last Wednesday night. Joni Meeks broke out of his shooting slump by scoring 20 points for the Pistons, but there was too much Anthony Davis, he propelled the Pelicans to victory with 38 points. The Pistons have now fallen back down to 3.5 games back of 8th place. 3.5 games back of 8th place in the Eastern Conference, which is more of a concern. They're now 2-4 since they've traded Jonas Jerebko, DJ Augustine, Kyle Singler, and Gigi Datomi for Reggie Jackson and Tayshaun Prince in 2 separate trades during the NBA All-Star break. The first 3 of those losses, the Pistons have given up at least close to 100 points. In the 4th loss, they only scored 85 and given up 88. They go into Houston and play a tougher Houston Rockets team. Houston is 23-9 at home and has won 9 straight at Toyota Center. The Rockets have won 18 of the last 21 at home against the Pistons, who are 8-16 against Western Conference teams this season. The Pistons have lost 4 straight games and 7 of their last 8 on the road. Now to Michigan State and Michigan. John Beilein was John Beilein and his Michigan Wolverines blew 2 leads late in regulation and late in overtime, and the Northwestern Wildcats beat the Michigan Wolverines 82-78 in double overtime. The Wolverines wrap up their regular season at home against Rutgers tomorrow afternoon at 2:15. Michigan State Spartans Beilein of the Wolverines made a mistake not fouling while up by 3 points, just like Tom Izzo, head coach of the Spartans, did against Minnesota when the Spartans lost in overtime to the Gophers 96-90 last week, Thursday night, 8 nights ago at Breslin Center. Then the Spartans got crushed in Wisconsin 68-61, but then they took on a pitiful Purdue Boilermakers team and beat them by only 6 points. Let the Boilermakers hang around for a bit. Spartans win 72-66. Travis Trice kissed the center court with the Spartan logo on it. It was senior night at Breslin Center. Spartans taking on the Indiana Hoosiers tomorrow at noon on ESPN. Rutgers, Michigan at 2:15 on BTN. And BTN to go and BTN.com. I almost forgot this. Because I already changed the topic to college basketball. The CMU Chippewas clinched the MAC West division and outright MAC titles. They clinched the MAC West with the 85-77 win over the Toledo Rockets at McGurk Arena Tuesday night. I was there. And the game was neck and neck. The Rockets had the lead for most of the first half, but the Chippewas came storming in the second half, and they managed to hold on and pull away with the 85-77 win. They wrap up their regular season in Kalamazoo against their arch rivals, the Western Michigan Broncos. Junior forward John Simons, a Cadillac native, my region, in my area, scored a career-high 28 points. He's got another season left in him as a Chippewa. Finished with 8 rebounds as well, including 8 3-pointers. Central Michigan Life, cm-life.com. Headlines: men's basketball can claim the number 1 seed in the MAC tournament with a win at Western Michigan. What's really confusing to me is that the number 1 seed in the MAC and the clinching of the outright MAC championship are kind of similar. I asked them on their link on Facebook. CM Life replied, "There is no major difference between winning the outright regular season conference title and clinching the number 1 seed. MAC tournament seeding is based on the overall conference record and then head-to-head matchups in tiebreaker situations. We'll know much more after tonight's games around the MAC." Ben Franas said the big difference is that the latter gets us directly into the semifinals of the tournament in Cleveland, and the overall conference record, if a tie, could mean a lower seed. And thanks, guys. Last time the Chips and Broncos met, the Chippewas won 70-65 on. That was a month ago on February 7th. Today is March 6th at McGurk Arena, before 5,350 since its opening night. First capacity crowd since its opening night. CMU outscored WMU 40-26 in the second half to complete the second half comeback. CMU has more than 22 wins just once since 1968. No, that was back in 2003, actually. From 1968 to 2003, and only 3 times since the program began in 1907 and 1908. CMU and WMU have played each other in the regular season finale each year since 2010-2011. WMU has won 3 of the past 4 regular season finales between the two teams. The Chippewas say crunch time has officially arrived. The Chippewas have won 22 games. Head coach Keno Davis they surpassed the amount of wins that Keno Davis had during his first 2 years in Mount Pleasant. This season was a lot more of a breakthrough season for the Maroon and Gold. You could go to cmuchippewas.com or wmubroncos.com for the MAC tournament. Tigers are now 4-2 in exhibition action thus far. They beat Florida Southern 12-2. They crushed the Orioles 15-2. They beat the Orioles again 5-4. They're 3-2 actually. They lost to the Braves yesterday 6-4, giving up 2 runs in the 9th, and they give up a walk-off home run solo shot to Matt Reynolds in the bottom of the 9th, losing 5-4. Jose Iglesias left today's game with a bruised right shin contusion, which is unrelated to his stress fractures in his shins. Jose Iglesias says hopefully he'll play Sunday. So, nothing to fret about in terms of Jose Iglesias. Jonas Cespedes had back tightness. He hopes to play tomorrow. So those are the couple of not so serious injury updates I just had to pass along to you, as I promised. The status of Miguel Cabrera, he is rolling, and let me see here. Bleacher Report gave me an update about Cabrera earlier. Gonna look on Tigers section here. Cabrera is on track in his recovery en road to start opening day. No report on Victor Martinez yet, assuming he's doing good too. James Schmelt tweets from MLive.com on Twitter. Jonas Cespedes' status Saturday remains unclear. He was scheduled to play Saturday, but is up in the air now after tweaking his back Thursday. Also, Phil Koch, a former Tiger, is signed with the Chicago Cubs to a minor league deal with an invite to spring training. David Price tossed through 2 hitless innings today against the Mets. Mets jumped out to a 1-0 lead. The Tigers led 3-1 after 5. Mets took a 4-3 lead after 7. Tigers tied it up at 4 in the 8th. And then Matt Reynolds won it for the Mets with his solo shot in the 9th. Tigers take on the Braves again at Walt Disney World tomorrow at 1. At what's that place again? Check my MLB.com at that mobile app. At Champion Stadium in Lake Buena Vista. Then on Sunday they head back to Lakeland and take on the Houston Astros. Also says an update, Stephen Moya held back from Port St. Lucie trip. He suffered an injury with back spasms. Anthony Gose went 1 for 2 today. He went 2 for 3 yesterday, 2 days ago actually. He knocked in it. He was 1 for 2 in his first day with an RBI triple. So he's 4 for 8 thus far in spring training. Matt Derry called him a windmill earlier today. That's not right. I'm gonna have to disagree. But anyway. The Lions are getting busy this offseason. They just signed place kicker Matt Prater to a 3-year, $9 million deal. They have also signed Dan Orlovsky to a 1-year deal, backup quarterback, and then they signed their other backup quarterback, Kellen Moore, to a 2-year deal, and they retained George Johnson, a restricted free agent defensive end, 6 sacks in 2004, and wide receiver Jeremy Ross with 1-year deals, signing them to 1-year deals. So that's about all I have to share for you today on Taylor's Detroit Sports episode 143. I will talk to you Sunday night at 11 on Blog Talk Radio. And later over my spring break back here on Spreaker. Thanks to Thomas for his comments. I appreciate it. Thanks to everyone downloading and listening. If they did, everyone else. I'll be back here for episode 144 eventually. TTFN, ta-ta for now.